in the net as they look to go off ice with a pass. That squirts through everybody on the chase. Is Esterbrook's Magic covers it up. Apologize to everybody here early. We're having some technical difficulties hooking up to our YouTube channel, so we went back to the old Facebook Live. Hawks on the draw, number 4, Miramichi. A call up to take Patterson's place as he got a couple game misconduct for that hit last game yesterday. Also, Esterbrook's back in the lineup as well, covering for Cedric Fournette. Cameron Martin still missing again. Hopefully a December return for him. St. Clair's back in the lineup. So the Hawks still shuffling their team around as the regular season continues here with in and outs in the lineup. Miramichi sends it deep. Millier moves it up the boards. Miramichi comes in hard to hold that in, and they're able to. Last game we see Miramichi skate hard on these Hawks to put lots of pressure and supported their men, and they were able to get the victory. We'll see how they do again today or how the Hawks respond. Now behind the net. Hawks able to pick it up. They send it back to the D-man. He's got to dump it in deep. Now behind the net, a battle occurs. That goes up the side of the boards. Refuse there to hold it in. Cadet sends it on the net. Rebound. And McPherson almost there to put away the rebound. Now deep in the corner. Hawks look to establish something here. They put it back in deep. Cormier up to Gadet. Gadet fires it right on. That's through lots of traffic, but the goal able to steer it aside. That one just crosses the line. McPherson touches it for an offside. So the Hawks still sitting in top place in the standings, but have been looking a little bit more flat-footed than usual. Again, with in and outs in the lineup. They'll have to get back to keeping hockey simple, working together as a team. Cormier on the draw. Nice win. Back to the D, but that's a giveaway. And the Rivermen come back the other way. Little chip and go on their part. And again, they're first on the puck. Just like last game. Let's see how that continues. Miramichi now, as LeBlanc tried to send it over to his D-man. Knocked back in deep. Gadet behind the net. No wingers on the boards here, as he's got no outlets. Both wingers up by the blue line. And Miramichi able to get that puck and send it back down again. Hawks D to D. Pass goes through Casey's feet, and that'll be an icing. So early in the game, not quite 5 minutes in, but we're seeing the same thing. Miramichi pressuring our D. No forwards coming back to support for that first pass, and those stretch passes are just off the mark. Puck takes a weird bounce off the corner there. That one's flicked out by Esterbrook's. Casey on the attack. Now Esterbrook's tries to get his stick involved to hold Miramichi off. Hawks come back the other way as Casey tries to go down on the boards. Battle in the corner. Miramichi, again, another weird bounce off these boards as we're seeing a couple of them in the early goings. Goalie's going to have to be careful there behind the nets.
Yeah, one thing to keep an eye on in this old barn, they're really square corners. So it could be some strange bounces, and these boards have virtually no give.
So we'll keep an eye on that as the game continues, as we've already seen 2 or 3 good bounces. Casey with time. He turns and fires. Boudreaux. Little stop and go. And again, Hawks were going for a change, and Boudreaux didn't have an outlet over there. Fans calling for an offside. Linesman lets it go, and now a shot from the point, right on. Dexter makes his first save of the game, now behind the net. They try to center it. Dexter getting his stick involved. Miramichi did that last game a few times where they would go into those corners and send it right out front, looking for any kind of chaos to evolve after. Hawks dump it in and go for a change. Miramichi now behind the net. They move it up the boards, but that's off the mark. Millier able to keep it in. Stick check, forced to put it down low. Robichaud works it up the boards. Back to Millier. Millier fires it. Misses. Hawks got to go after it here to keep it in. They do. Puck's bouncing around. Here's Richard. Quick shot, and goalie gets a full view of that one. Miramichi wins the draw. Now behind their net, they try to skate it out. Unable to make a pass, and Hawks able to keep it down low. Michaud able to create a little chaos to disturb that. They're able to keep it in the zone here as he goes back in the corner. Now Gadet from the point shakes a couple of defenders. Quick shot. That misses everybody and wraps all the way around and down the ice. Dexter's out to play it. He plays it up the boards. Hawks looking for outlets again. Nobody's set up. And that puck's almost given right away. Caleb LeBlanc, the hat trick man for the Rivermen now. Gadet crosses over, tries to get it in. He does. McPherson trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Puck's jumping around like a ping pong ball out there. And this puck comes down. Dexter's out to play it. He doesn't get much wood on that as the puck was on end. The Hawks able to get control here. A whiff by Robinson, but he gets a second go at it up to Cormier. Cormier's got Arsenault. He's got to get that towards the net. And that was a centering pass just off the stick of McPherson. Here come the Rivermen. Rivermen skating a lot harder than what we're previously used to seeing them. They made some early changes, looking to compete a lot more than they were earlier on this year. There's a little flick pass. Can they get control? That's just lingering around in the sticks, but Richard able to get enough. Rivermen keep it in. They shoot it towards the net. Now out front, pass. Dexter knocks it away with his stick. Great job. As he bails out the Hawks with a little support. Well, Tony, the Hawks were so good earlier on this year at breaking out. They were making those passes to the wing with a nice chip to the next guy, entering the zone with speed. And the last 3 to 4 games, it just hasn't been as easy for them. Another weird bounce off the corner there. Hawks remain in control, but unable to make that pass. Again, that transition game just not flowing here for our Hawks.
Yeah, I feel that was one of our strengths, like exiting the zone, going through the neutral zone with speed, looking for that quick pass, and just like supporting the puck afterwards. And it seems to be missing a little bit from our current game.
Boudreau kicked out of the draw. Estabrooks will come in. Estabrooks playing in his third or fourth straight game for the Hawks, as he's done a great little job, no pun intended, filling in. Smart little hockey player. I feel a goal coming on tonight for that little guy. Let's see if that comes to fruition. Big bump in the corner by Millier, but puck's not out from the slot. And McLaughlin able to glove that one down. Hawks able to capitalize off the draw as they move it up to Michaud, and he centers it over to Refuse. Now it's a chase for the puck. Miramichi turns and fires it down the ice, and that's going to be icing. Robichaud comes in after the draw. He holds the puck on the stick of the Hawks as they try to center it. Now a second little chance as Robichaud came in late for the shot. That just missed. Cadet fires it through a bunch of bodies. That just goes wide. There's the traffic we've been looking for. Cadet able to hold it in as he bumps his guy after putting it in deep. Now Refuse trying to knock his guy off the puck. Agnew back, trying to hold off his player. He does a good job. Dexter's there, gonna get his foot down on it. Trapped beside the post, and finally a whistle comes as it came late. And Miramichi had a few digs at that. Yesterday we seen the Rivermen's goalie slashing Boudreau 3 times. As he was being aggressive towards a few Hawks players. Miramichi gains control right off the draw. They chip it in. Now in the corner, 4-man battle. Squirts out to McPherson. McPherson tries to hit Cormier, but that goes off a skate. Miramichi puts it right back in. Behind the net, Arsenault unable to get it quite out as he tried to chip and go to Cormier. But Miramichi player able to get some wood on that. Again, the puck hopping around behind the net. You can see it coming off the backboards. The defense having a really hard time.
There was an issue with the Zamboni too. I don't know if you explained that.
Yeah, that's true. The Zamboni did about 3 passes to the outside. 1 pass to the inside without water. And then left the ice. Great chance there for the Hawks as they were almost able to center it there. There's a quick shot from a sharp angle. Another weird bounce comes right to McPherson. He wasn't expecting that. And now the Hawks are going to go to the box as they get called for Pretty good game going on here so far, back and forth. No teams are really establishing themselves. Miramichi able to win the draw as they try to set up on the power play. Now behind the net. They chip it out to the point now. LeBlanc looking to wind up as he likes to cut across and let go. He tries to pass it over to his man, but that goes deep into the corner. Now Miramichi trying to get control. They do. Back up to the point. Caleb, quick shot, blistering shot over the net. Now behind the net. Millier trying to bump his defender off the puck. Little give and go. We've seen that play last night as well, too. A little wraparound attempt. That was closer than it looked. Another shot from the point. Dexter didn't see it. Off the boards. Puck's jumping around. Finally, Casey able to turn around and fire it down the ice. Cormier's right there. Turned off the Jets just for a half a second. He could have been first on that puck, and here comes Miramichi the other way. They try to move over to the middle. And here goes Agnew now as he's got some room. Fires it right on. Miramichi. Caleb LeBlanc looking to get some head of steam as he tries to go end to end here. Big hit would have been nice there if Robichaud would have identified that one. He could have squeezed him on the boards and made some lemonade. Again, a couple games in, we haven't seen our Hawks be too physical. I don't know if they're scared of getting penalties, as penalties have been crazy with the head contacts as of late. But we haven't seen our Hawks throw too many hits or finish too many checks.
Which they're more than able to, like we've seen it at the start of the year for sure. Really able to play it, play any game you like, physical, finesse. But yeah, you're right.
That's going to be an icing. Yeah, you have a chance to rub the body. It doesn't have to be the biggest hit, but you want to see them finish some hits. And
you got to put it in their mind, right, that you're going to finish a hit.
Can't make it easy on them. Puck behind the net now is Michaud.
There we go.
Works it. Here comes Refuse. Refuse lays the body. We're used to seeing that big man throw a few hits. Here he comes again. He picks up the loose puck. Puts it out front. Michaud. Shot that just goes wide off a skate, I believe. As it all starts with a little bit of action from Refuse. And now Michaud throws a little hit in the corner. And here comes Refuse. He bumps his man. Hawks able to keep it in so far. Michaud just overskates that one. With the Hawks still coming back the other way. Michaud's going to go for a change. Here comes Refuse down the wing. McPherson there to support him as he turns and goes. Tries to work out to the middle. There's a shot from a sharp angle, and that heads behind the net right after. Hawks pick it up. Robinson back down to Arsenault. Arsenault trying to walk the line as he gets a shot from the point. Goalie finds that one through traffic really good and steers it to the corner. Hawks able to hold it in, but it's going to be offside. St. Clair now, under pressure, chips it up and over down the ice. And here's Richard. Shot, nobody in front of the net.
Waved at it, but missed it on the tip attempt.
If Arsenault might have been able to screen and then turn towards the goalie's eyes, that might have had a shot. Hawks win the draw. Shot from the point. And again, Don't want to sound like a broken record. It seems like I say it every time, but I can't tell you how many glove saves the goalies have made on us from the points. Just seeing these shots clearly that they can glove it down and not even a rebound occurs.
Yeah, especially for Macha. He's a catcher at baseball, a good one too, and his glove hand is really strong.
Good job there by Richard as he took a little skate bobble, went down, was able to chip the puck. Picked up by Miramichi, who was coming with full tilt. He gets up and lays the body just enough to stop any kind of transition there. He's been playing solid. I've said his name a few times with a couple great plays of the last couple games. Cormier now in the corner. He's got some room, tries to move it out to Arsenault. Arsenault gives it away, and here they come. Miramichi on a breakaway. Shot scores! And the giveaway at the blue line. And again, the Hawks, 2 games in a row, find themselves down 1-0 to the Rivermen. Not sure what happened there, Tony. I know Arsenault likes to come back deep on the blue line, but both defensemen sort of peeled off towards the side there as they were setting up kind of like a diamond formation, but they weren't even on the power play. Goodette now enters the zone. He gets stripped of the puck, but he's first on it again. He's able to get it back deep. Miramichi lays the body there. Now Estabrook's with it. Players knocked down. Cross-check Casey right across the back. Ref's looking right at the players. Doesn't call that one, but he's seen that hook earlier on. So guess what's going to happen here, Tony? You know it happens every time when a ref misses a call. Expect Miramichi to get one here any second. Let's see if it happens. Now in the corner, Miramichi works it. Agnew bumps his man. Now out to the point, quick shot, lots of tips. Dexter finds his pad, good job. Another chance as they shoot it from the point, but it's wide. And now Miramichi, almost a giveaway there as Boudreau was coming down on him. There's a little bump from behind on Casey, and that's offside. St. Clair now sends it in. First on it will be Robichaud. Finally, the Hawks first on the puck after a dump him. Something that hasn't been happening here. They work it out of the corner here, but Miramichi trying to chip it out. Big job by Refuse as he comes in and lays the body. Hawks put it in deep again. Refuse going looking, and he hammers his guy. Another big hit by Refuse. He's bringing the boom tonight, and another hit. Refuse, now the other guy, 2 guys are on him. They're mad. They don't like. There's an interference call. It's not being called. He wasn't even around the puck. The refs just don't want to call a call against the Hawks here. Just rewind the tape. You'll see it every time. The puck was in the corner. But because there's another shot up high, and again, finally, the refs have come to their senses, and they're going to call a penalty after the high shot. It's not over yet. Let's see what happens in the corner here. And again, Refuse throws 3 big hits there.
Yeah, that can really switch the momentum. Good on Refuse there. Taking matters into his own hands, trying to help the team get going here.
It's infectious when you dump that puck in and a guy goes hard on the puck and bumps his player in the process. Hawks unable to win the draw. Rivermen send it deep. The Hawks have been absolutely atrocious on the power play, but based on stats alone, even the worst team in the world is going to eventually score. So I'm betting on them putting one in here tonight on a power play, Tony. Here's a shot, rebound, the puck's there, another whack at it. Seems like the Hawks are not even walking at that loose puck. It didn't seem like much effort. It was there for the grabs, but everybody was just looking at it like a spider walking across the floor. Here's a slapper from the point off the shin pads as he loaded up too much. Need to get that shot off quick, or people are going to have time to get in front. Millier now. They're in this diamond formation again, Tony. This must be a new thing they're working on. Here's a shot as that one squeaks through. But now, Cormier up to Millier. Millier jumps in. He shoots, but that's deflected. He's behind the net with Cormier. Cormier up to Richard. Richard's done a good job finding the net here. Turn around and fire, but nobody's even close to the net. And the goalie gloves it down again.
Only 2.5 seconds here. Not much time. Get some towards the net.
That'll do it for the first period. The Hawks find themselves in a hole again as they continue to do the same old stuff. We'll see if they can change that, because we know the definition of insanity, and that's doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We'll catch you back here for the second period in about 10 minutes. Over and out for now. Then we're back for the second period. Hawks on the power play for 38 seconds. Draw one cleanly by the Hawks. And they go up ice as they knock it into the zone. Boudreau knocked off kilter there, but Casey behind him. Cadet fans of the puck. It sticks to the ice and knocked all the way down as Dexter's there to stop it. And again, the puck sticks on the ice. We've seen it earlier in the first period.
Too much ice.
Last period,
no water. Too much water. I mean.
Last period they didn't flood at all, and this one they do. And puck's sticking. Back to full strength. Refuse the wrecking ball behind the net as he throws his big body and able to hold off his defender. Now it's a 4-4 battle there. Nobody working on the puck here as the third guy high comes down low. Hawks got to be careful here. Refuse back to cover. And here comes the speedy LeBlanc, but he's squeezed. That shot from far. Might be on the netting out back. No, it's knocked down. Refuse up the wing. Little chip, but off the mark. Boudreau's got to get there quick. He can't get it in and chip, but Refuse gets it in, and they'll go for the change. Rivermen now overskate the puck. That's chipped in, but it looks like it's going to be an icing call. And that'll give the ice a few more minutes to cure here.
$272.50. 2050 61142-569. 61142-569.
Right off the draw, the Hawks try to go right through. Quick shot. Oh, that didn't miss by much as the Hawk player overskated it. Miramichi picks it up and turns and fires. Here comes Cormier. He's got some room to get around. Can he get there? No, he's not. He goes in hard. He's okay. We do not want to lose another player. He's got the wind knocked out of him for sure as he limps off the ice. Little shot towards the net.
Yeah, like I was saying, those boards have absolutely no give.
He went down hard too. They've been dropping like flies early this year. Draw one cleanly. As St. Clair elects not to fire that one right away. That's center to Refuse, but he had a stick in the air, wasn't quite ready. And here comes Miramichi. Can he get there? Nice job as Robinson tries to hold him off a little bit, wrapping the stick, and Dexter comes out to shut the rest. Now out front of the net. Picked up by the Hawks and chipped out, and here comes Arsenault. He's got McPherson. McPherson trying to get over. Oh, just can't get a handle on it. We've seen that a couple times this game here where the Hawks are getting these chances with the passes, but just can't handle them. And they know the pass is coming, Tony. Just squeaking off their stick. The Spanish flu or something. And the Hawks are going to go back in the box as McPherson takes another penalty for interference. So Moncton down a goal. And now down a man as they try to kill off this second power play by Miramichi. Hawks able to send it the length of the ice, right on goal. LeBlanc chips it out of the zone, but a little bit too far. He picks it back up. He got some speed. but Gadet meets him at the line. Now Agnew back to pick it up. Agnew does a little hip rotation and shoots that down the ice. Here comes LeBlanc again. He's got some speed. Agnew stays with him, forces him wide. Hawks again able to get some wood on that and send it the length of the way. They've done a great job overall killing off penalties. And that one's picked up by Millier. Millier tries to do the hop around. Unsuccessful that time, but they're killing off valuable time. Rivermen trying to set back up to LeBlanc. LeBlanc shake a big one. He's got a great shot. You don't want to let him shoot. And he goes wide this time. Gotta keep your hips in front of that guy, Tony. .30 seconds to go. The Rivermen. Casey able to get a little bit of wood on that and slow it down as Miramichi unable to enter the zone the way they'd like, and the Hawks able to deflect that puck out of play. Hawks lose the draw. Puck's loose, scores! Shot on net, picked up the rebound by Miramichi. 2 games in a row on the power play. Miramichi able to put that puck on net and get the rebound. And just like that, the Rivermen are up 2-0. All starts on the face-off win by Miramichi that time. There's Brody now. As he gets on, that puck's flipped up and over the ice here twice. And he's not going to pick that puck up this time. Well, Miramichi is playing with a lot of confidence right now, Tone. They're up 2-0. That one almost squirts through right off the draw. He looks behind him. But I think the outside of the post kept that one out. Moncton want to have to dig down here deep. They want to try to get this one. There's another great chance as Cormier turns and fires, and guess what? They had a man in front of the net for a tip. And now along the boards, another shot from the point, rebound, well out. Robinson comes in, he takes another shot. Nobody even close to the net on that one, however. Here's another chance. Had to be careful there. St. Clair is the lingering Rivermen all alone. Wrapped around. Right there, Tony. I want to see the Hawks player come in a little bit faster. They could have kept that in a lot easier, but the puck's still in. Robinson, nobody even close to in front of the net. So after doing a couple great things here early in this shift, everybody's scattering away from in front of the net. And I don't know about you, but I know you don't usually score many goals if you're not in front of the net. Earlier today, the Rangers defeated the Caps 7-1. But because of that tie, overtime loss, the Hawks still remain in first place with a game in hand. This is the game in hand. So this is a big game here to stay on top of the standings. Moncton overskates it behind their net. Miramichi just turns around and bangs their player. Not sure who's getting the call, but Miramichi turned around and hit our Moncton player when the puck wasn't even around there. Let's see who they call here. It looks like Moncton's going to get the call, even though the puck was behind the Miramichi player. Number 18, I believe. He just turned around and cross-checked our Moncton player across the chest. Didn't go for the puck, and then we get penalized. Now, I don't know about you, Tone, but right now is the time you want to put your Energizer players on. You just say skate like the wind and create havoc out there. We're going to try to go for a shorthanded goal here. And look at Casey flying around. He could have finished the check there. That would have been extra special. But there's Millier with a bump. Casey's still flying. Let's see. He gets a stick involved. Good job. Now he's over to the other side. That's what you want to do. Creating havoc. I love it. And here's Millier firing it in. Casey's going to be out of juice here, though, as he skated hard up and down a few times. He puts it in deep. Goes for the change. Refuse back there now as he gets pumped. But Refuse, such a big body, barely moved on that hit. Now they hack at Refuse. As 3-on-1, Refuse doing a great job. And now Casey's still there. Probably should have went for a change as Casey's been on a wall. Quick shot off the ankle. Millier now turns around and fires. Hawks going to be able to get some fresh blood on. And the energy was great there by Casey and Refuse. And that pass is forced all the way up the ice and misses everyone. Hawks with a couple of games in hand are tied second with the most goals in the league. Are failing to find themselves on the scoreboard against the last place team in the league thus far. And there's a good shot by Boudreau as he catches them. Cormier able to get it back in. And Miramichi looking for the physicality, but Moncton just doing a little bit better job. Oh, to Boudreau! He was just got that one on the backhand. If that would have been forehand, that might have been pretty.
Good to see Cormier back out there after going hard into the end boards earlier.
Absolutely. We don't want to see him down for sure as he's amongst the leaderboards in scoring. Nifty move there, but the Hawks just unable to get that puck out. They work it along the boards. Boudreau with the chip. 2-on-1, brewing up. Over to Robichaud. Catches the back heel. And there's a call behind the play. And it's interference against Miramichi. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should decline the penalty.
Yes, sir. Well, this is it, Tony. I feel it. 2 good shifts after the kill. The boys are back on. This time we see Refuse out there with the first line as he's been playing excellent with Cormier and Arsenault. Let's see if this little changes. Agnew loses it in his skates. Now everybody's got to clear out. Hawks try to skate it in, but that's stopped at the line and knocked all the way down the ice. Agnew now, he takes a hack, couple hacks. As He gets knocked down, but the Hawks retrieve the puck behind the net. Up to Cormier. Cormier unable to hit his man. And now Refuse it. He's such a big body. He works that good. He's on the puck. Gets it over to Arsenault. Arsenault back to Refuse. 3 in the corner here. Gadet down to Cormier. Cormier back up to Gadet. Gadet way over to Millier. Millier takes too long to shoot. We've seen it a couple times from him. And the shot gets blocked. He's going to have to let that go earlier. And that pass is just off the mark as Refuse and Arsenault try to beat them on the stretch pass. But Cormier comes in. Nice little moves. He retreats back. Now back to Arsenault. Arsenault back up to the line. Millier now. He's got a man far side. Wants to go back up high. Hawks getting super pretty here. Put the puck on there. Tipped by Refuse. Refuse is in front of the net. Almost tips it in between the blocker and the body of Magic. And now Casey, Boudreau, and Estabrooks come on as the second power play line. Great win there by the Hawks. Millier now from the point, blocked again. As there must be a magnet on the shin pads with the puck, because he's done it 3 times. Estabrooks trying to fight his guy off. Mighty Mouse back there. He's able to hold off his guy just enough. Get some support with Boudreau. Now Estabrooks working his way. He scores! I knew that little guy was going to come through today, and he does. So after a valiant effort on his butt, holding possession of the puck just long enough that Boudreau could come in and help him, he's able to get that rebound and put it in. And the Hawks are on the board. And Dexter covers that as that bounces off. He gives a little bit of a snow job. He didn't like that. Shot from the point, knocked down. And knocked down the other way here as Robichaud still on it. Robichaud throws the body. He waits for support. Refuse now works out from below. He tries to go to the middle. Now 3 are caught, and good job there by Gadet as the call comes in late offside. Miramichi knocks it in deep. Funny bounce off the boards again, Tone. Got to keep an eye out for those, as that could be a difference later on in this game. Now, a pass from nowhere as Miramichi gives it away, and the Hawks coming in. Here's Michaud, the call-up, as he's going to take a shot from a bad angle. He goes for the rebound. Everybody's there. Miramichi tried to clear people out. Check from behind on Michaud, and the ref lets it go. Cormier off the draw. Esterbrookes tries to fire towards the slot. There's Robinson back. Puck jumps up and out of play. Miramichi has got a couple big boys, Tony, and they got some long sticks, and they're hard to bump off the puck. Great job there by Miramichi to take out St. Clair, but the Hawks again missed their pass there, and Miramichi able to get it in deep. They're on the chase. St. Clair now behind the net as he tries to throw it up the boards. Finally, Brody over to Cormier. Cormier over to Larson. Larson's going to take that shot. No, he gets it to Cormier. Cormier goes wide. The D are changing. They're late getting in, but the Hawks able to control down low to Cormier. Now it's in front of the net. No, it's behind the net. Now it's back out front. And everybody's swinging at it. Hawks showing a little bit more resiliency here. But can they continue here and get one more before the period's over? That one's worked along the boards. Finally, Cormier able to come out with it. It's Cormier, great job here by their back check and rebound. That's it. Lost sight of that for a half a second. That squirted wide quickly. Millier knocks this one down. Can he get a stick on it to hold it in? Just enough to slow it down. Boudreaux now works it from the side up to the slot. One time Refuse just fans on as it hits the heel of his stick. He was cocked and loaded, but didn't get much wood on that one. Hawks move it up the zone, but it's stick checked. And Miramichi is coming back the other way. Miramichi bumped off the puck as he looks injured. As he caught it across the arm, a stick perhaps. Now Moncton, player targeted. Now Boudreaux stick checked mid-ice. Miramichi retreats back in their zone, a little give and go, but off the stick, and here's Boudreaux. Boudreaux, quick shot! Nice save by Matchett in the slot area. As the Hawks chip it in, they go for a change. Michaud dumps it, and he's on the chase. As he goes through the crease, trying to get to that puck. Big hit by Refuse as he says hello. Refuse throws a little bit of a shoulder. That one's a little bit from behind, but not much. An elbow comes in late, but it won't be called guarantee. They call the interference. No, it is called. The late call is going to be called, is it? Yes, sir. Caleb LeBlanc goes in late as he come in with the flying elbow. And he slams his stick. And just like that, one hit disturbs the force as Miramichi doesn't like it, and they retaliate when they get hit.
That's right.
And it all starts with Refuse, and guess what? We're going to see the big bad boy in action on the power play. Actually, it's going to stay 5-on-5 as they were coincidentals.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Big hit there by Robichaud this time. And now we got some physical action going on. That one's centered, but off the mark. Refuse now. Nobody wants to hit Refuse because he just does that. Don't even try to hit that guy. Oh, punch to the head. That doesn't get called as they're trying anything they can to knock down these Moncton players. As Moncton's been the force of action of late. Driving the net is Robichaud. Oh, great job there as the pass makes it. And here comes Cadet trying to finish his check. Lots of wild action here in the last few minutes. Cormier able to win the draw. Robinson has it chipped away a couple times. 2-on-1 brewing up. Robinson getting back quick though as he gets his stick involved. St. Clair there. And that one gets chipped towards the front of the net. Moncton, little chip and go. Can he get it on the other side? Gotta be careful here. Cormier's in. Cormier's in the slot. Drops it to Boudreau. Boudreau's shot misses the net. Watch out for this as he knocks it in deep. And now Cormier again. No! Over to Arsenault for a quick shot. And now back to Robinson. Quick shot tip. Not by much. As Arsenault's in there again. Back up to the point. Robinson back down low. Back to Arsenault. Arsenault, quick shot.
That is a beauty.
Tap, two. And the Hawks have tied it up here in the second period. And it all starts with a little bit of hard hitting action by Refuse and Robichaud. And the Hawks are flying in now as the chip and go. First on pucks is the Hawks as they work it in the corner. Four-man battle. That gets wrapped around. Millier there to keep it in. Fires it towards the net. Back up to the point. Cormier could have took that one, but he gave it back to Arsenault for the quick shot. Both were good choices. That one's knocked deep but not out. And finally sent down the other way, but off Millier. And the Hawks chip that one in. Arsenault called for icing, but that's just a terrible call. Well, I don't know if the Hawks cracked open some sniffing salts or ate some Cheerios, but they're flying and profiling right now. Great job by Refuse getting in there. And Casey and Esterbrook's all getting their stick involved. Everybody's going now. Lots of action. And all Miramichi can do is ice the puck. The big man, Refuse, on the draw. And the linesman's going to throw out the Rivermen. And Casey behind the net, tries to center it off a player. And wide, Hawks first on it again. Refuse now. He's going to go back down low. Now that sneaks out towards the point, and St. Clair gives a little hit. Esterbrook's back to back him up. Centers it behind. Casey now picks it up. Over to Refuse. Refuse gets tripped up. Up to Esterbrook's as Esterbrook's comes in. He flicks it in on the goalie. I hate those, especially if they bounce. And Refuse comes in with a little shoulder bump as he didn't like Miramichi pushing Casey away. Lots of smiling faces down there on the Hawks players right now. Hopefully they're ready to go here. As they're able to tie the game back up. Rivermen thrown back out, second time in a row. Shaw's knocked back in by Millier. Now up the boards. Great stick by Boudreau to keep that in. Millier going to be able to take his man out. Dexter now plays it in the corner. That puck's given away by LeBlanc as he skates back. Little chip down the ice. As looks like Miramichi looking for that stretch pass. Miramichi trying to get it into the zone. They fire it down. Millier now in front of the net. He goes behind. Reverse to Patrice up the boards. And the Hawks miss the mark there to Cormier. And that's knocked down, but Hawks come right back the other way as Boudreau comes in with Arsenault and Cormier. Dropped out to Arsenault through the skates. And right in the breadbasket. No rebound. But again, the Miramichi players do not like the Hawks coming towards the net. The Hawks aren't poking. They're going to the net now. But if I was them, I would continue to do that until the Miramichi Rivermen try a little bit too hard. The Rivermen try for a fast break, but knocked right back in by Gaudette. Hawks able to get a stick involved. Boudreau holds it in. No, it's Gaudette. Gets the last stick on it. Not for long, though, as Rivermen move back the other way. Chipped in. Agnew's going to have some time as that's offside. Agnew skates up, fires a pass up to Cormier. Sorry, that's Arsenault. Now Arsenault in the corner. He gets support by Cormier. Cormier drops it back. Arsenault comes back. Oh, Boudreau was going for the hit, but the puck gets caught up in the skates. Arsenault along the boards. Way over to Cormier. Cormier tries for a quick backhand, and another backhand by Boudreau. As the Hawks are all over the front of the net and find themselves up by a goal. As Boudreau finds himself with Cormier and Arsenault this time. So the lines are being shook up a little bit, and we're starting to see.
This trio has seen success there when they've been together a few times here and there. Is that Boudreau's second tonight?
I believe so, as he scored the one-timer in the slot earlier. And the Hawks are back after getting down 2-0. They claw their way back.
Just when you think they're out, they come roaring back.
Well, we went into the third period yesterday in the same fashion as the Hawks came back and got up 3-1 and went to overtime for the loss. They're up by one again. Let's see if they can hold on for this third period. Coming up, we'll take a short break.
What is going on? Yeah, we're waiting for the rest of the team to come out there. Casey's going to take him on by himself.
Linesman just ran off the ice to go get the Moncton Hawks, says. The Rivermen are all on the bench ready to go. Not sure what's going on back there. Finally, here's the Hawks. As they sneak out, Richford almost takes a tumble. And Tony, you mentioned this earlier in the season when we were playing against the Rangers, how the Hawks don't come out as a team at times. And they're making their way over to the bench here in groups of 3.
Yeah, I'd love to see them come out all at once, one after the other with some intensity. Get your legs moving, get the jump going, set the tone for how you want to start the game, how you want to start a period. When you watch teams come out on the ice there for a playoff game, they have more to it than that. So there's something to work on.
The good news is it's easy to fix.
Absolutely.
Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of making that decision. It's not like you're asking a player to score an extra 20 goals. Hawks come out flying 2-on-1. Can they get that pass over? It's over, and it's just off the stick. And here come the Rivermen now for their chance, but he stood up by Millier, but he picks up the puck in the corner. Puck stopped on the wet ice in the corner, however, and Rivermen overskated. LeBlanc chips it up in the neutral zone. Richard with a little bit of a stick hit. Rivermen go crazy, but it doesn't matter that Patrice fell down. It's the fact that he laid a little bit of the body to slow down the Miramichi player that I like.
Well, Jamie, just want to tell everybody that the Hawks are supporting the Blue Jays tonight. And go Jays, go. Hopefully they can bring it home.
Blue Jays going to get one more crack at her tonight to bring home the World Championship in Game 7. Here's McPherson putting it square in the breadbasket. Overthinking maybe on that one. In practice, Tony, that guy snipes left and right. Just got to make it happen in the game here. But he's a dynamite player. He works hard. Out front, and that's knocked away by the Rivermen. Knocked down by Agnew and put in deep. Now McPherson takes a little bump, trying to move it over to Casey. And here's Refuse throwing his body on his man. Refuse. All the Rivermen are aware when he's on the ice now as he's thrown a couple big hits. Rivermen try for the stretch pass. They get it. Break away off the crossbar. As he tried the whole little rainbow dipsy doodle.
Yeah, that was an old Datsukian moonshot.
And Refuse lays the body, and a shot from the Rivermen goes wide. A little slash there. Again, the Rivermen, doesn't matter who it is, after a big hit, they seem to get frustrated. Refuse lays the body again there. This player is going to go off the ice as he loses his net guard. Puck moved up to Refuse. He chips it in and goes for a change. He's definitely been the top dog here for the Hawks. Watch out for too many men on the ice. The Rivermen just escape it. Now St. Clair's got to be quick as he's on the puck. Now from the point, shot knocked down off a jersey. St. Clair overskates it. Chip out, unsuccessful. Knocked in deep. Rivermen now pressing. Dexter with a nice stick to stop that centering pass. That's knocked out. Driven in down low. Again, watch out for those boards. And a little chip and go. Estabrooks now gets the stick knocked out of his. Late call here by the ref. Maybe he was picking up the net guard down low, and maybe that's why we didn't see it. But Estabrooks was on the fast break, and he gets his stick slashed out of his hands, and that'll put the Hawks back on the power play. Jay Cornett Patterson standing behind me just wants to give a shout out as this is his favorite song playing in the background. Millier from the point. That's right on. He's in there to get his own rebound behind the net. And there's Richard coming in. And now Boudreau over to Millier. That skips off his stick. He's in deep, reverses it. And that squirts by. A 2-on-1 brewing up. But Richard's back, and he's been so good. And he does it again. Nice quick up to Cormier, over to Arsenault. Quick shot, and again, right on the logo. And that's wrapped around the boards, but not out by Miramichi. Hawks controlled it in the corner, back up to Gadet. Gadet down to the boards, over across to Agnew, but he catches it on the backside. Has to put it back in deep. Miramichi trying to get to it. Fired down the ice, and they do. That's wrapped around. Finally knocked out, and here come the Hawks. Can they get an odd man rush? It's poked at the last minute. And back come Miramichi. And the game's getting sticky now as both teams, again, the player knocks his stick out. The first one was a call, but this one he chooses not to call. And that one's blown down. Hawks win the draw. Casey along the boards. Little chip up to Refuse. Refuse. And that's called offside. Well, Tony, before the game, I would say that it may have been the Flyers or the Rangers that the Moncton would be the most chippy at. But after these last two games, you can tell that the Hawks and the Rivermen are brewing up a little rivalry here. Casey tries to get on that puck. Now in the corner, Rivermen pass it up to our D-man who shoots it right on. Goalie doesn't see it. Deflects wide. Back to even strength. Now St. Clair rips one. Rebound as Casey turns around and fires. And he misses. St. Clair knocks it in deep. McPherson. Casey behind the net. McPherson comes out with it. As he stops and goes, he's driven into the boards. He's still going. That squirts out to Refuse. Refuse now, the big man, comes around, drops it to St. Clair. St. Clair puts it on net. Deflect up. And almost goes top shelf. Now here's a chance for Refuse. Big shot. Rebound. And nobody there to put away. Nice little stick check there by Robinson as the D do a good job staying up high on the line this time. Hawks had to be careful there as everybody was changing. Back it up, back it in, let me begin. Little karaoke. Robichaud turns and fires, but that misses the mark, and here comes the Rivermen offside by a mile, but he had to be careful. Miramichi knocks it in. D-to-D pass by Moncton as they move through the zone. Miramichi able to get in front of it. And here's Millier. Chips it over to Patrice. Patrice. That pass is off the mark. As Michaud goes on the chase. Here's Richard. Richard wanted to play the body, but that sneaks off his stick. Nice little move in the corner as he gets it back to Boudreau, but that's at the point. Oh, geez, that was high. And over the net, knocked down by something. It's called a high stick, as it wouldn't have counted even if it went in. Boudreau again on that line with Arsenault and Cormier. Rivermen picked that one off and put it back in. They're first on it as they're trying to create some havoc behind the net, but Arsenault over to Cormier. Cormier enters the zone, drops it to Boudreau. Boudreau now just stick check last second. He's still after it though. Now Arsenault back up to the line. Gadet's lots of people in front, but the last second. Riverman able to get a stick in front of it. Here's a centering attempt off the goalie's pad. And now along the boards. Hawks trying to keep it in. Gadet does. First attempt, second attempt. Does it squeak out? Hard to see from here. As everybody's yelling down there, but the puck's still right along the line, and that's flicked in, but out of play. Hawks off the draw. Rivermen pick it up. Up along the boards. They curl. Little room to skate. He takes it. As he crosses over, leaves it for Noel. He puts it in deep. Now Refuse wanted to go for the big hit, but the ref was in the way. He had to sidestep the ref. That one sneaks out in front. It's loose. Good job there as St. Clair able to get a shin pad in front of it. Can McPherson block this one? He does. Good job there. Second shot. Oh, right off the head of Dexter. He makes the save, however. That was a blistering shot. Now, out front, they work it. Nice job there. Dexter holds the post. The puck's loose. Back up to the point, and that one sneaks out. McPherson on the chase as they turn and fire it up ice, and that's going to be called off as Millier gets there just in time. Now Millier up the boards to Casey. Casey gets it in deep. Millier is jumping in on the rush. Down low, they try to center it, but don't get much wood on it. Now in the corner. Down low again. Good cycling here by the Hawks. Miramichi able to come out with it. Flick it out of play here as it's caught in a bunch of hands hanging over the boards. Richard D to Millier. Gets it in deep. Esterbrook's flying in there trying to create some kind of turnover. Now he's got some support behind the net. The puck is jumping around. Who's going to get it? Hawks come up with it. Nice little pass over to Richard. Late call. As Richard was down to the face-off dot before that one was called. Millier now, he jumps in. Quick shot up the side of the net and up and out of play. Ten to go here in the third period. Your Hawks are still up by a goal. But we're in a tight game here. Shot right on, a little rebound there. Open for anybody to pick up. Miramichi able to clear to the corner. Hawks first on it. And now Micho behind the net. Rocho comes in for a hit. Sharper knocks it in. Now battle in the corner. The Hawks come out with it. Richard. Over to McCormick. Quick shot on net. Rebound. It's out. It's loose. Puck Steelers. Who can find it? Rivermen have one option, and that's to fire it down the ice. Rivermen win this draw. Couple bounces down the ice and another icing. Again, Tony, I like this. After five icings or offsides, you start getting penalized for delay of game. It would definitely change the tone of the game. And that last scramble, you wouldn't see teams just turning around and firing if it would have cost them a penalty.
Yeah, we're going to have to start our writing campaign.
There's a puck again, another icing. Like I said, after this would happen, there are 5 times offside or icing. You'd have to be diligent because you don't want to go down a man. There's Miramichi, one-on-one battle. Can he get around him? He is, but there's still a last-minute call. The puck's in the net. What's he going to call here? The puck was loose and bouncing, but I'm not sure what happened. Is he calling the penalty? He is calling the penalty. So does that mean this goal is called off? Or is he counting this as a goal? We're still unsure. The linesman comes over to talk to the ref.
Yeah, I
The
think
other
before the puck was put in, because there was a delayed penalty, we touched the puck before like it got batted in. So then it, if we have control for a split second, he whistles it down, right?
The puck was jumping all over the place. Sometimes they don't call it unless you had full control. So that was.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't.
Seems to be the call, as he didn't wave his hands off right away or blow it down. We'll take it. Rather be on the power play than tied at 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the penalty kill, I should say. Hawks win the draw, but Miramichi able to get through on the draw and get it to that puck first. They get it to the point. Shot, blocked down. Not cleared, but second attempt by the Hawks, able to knock it out as Cormier able to bat that one down the ice. It's about this time in the game where you'll start to see number 15 for Miramichi double shifted here. He's on the ice right now with the puck as he shoots and fires right on. Rebounds there, is not picked up. Now it is. But it's Miramichi picking it up as they move the puck over. And now a little centering pass for the one-timer. They fan on it. Now back to the point. Outside, and it's called as the fans scream and holler on that one. LeBlanc stays on the ice here. He's going to be on for this full power play, I believe. Here he is with the puck now as he goes flying up the ice. He stood down by Millier. Now a little pass out front. Swing and a miss, but the shot hit the net. Dexter able to... There's a glove pass as LeBlanc was down. Millier comes in with the hit. Good job there to pressure him. And that puck's given away to Millier. Millier over to Richard, and Richard all the way down the ice. Weird bounce, goalie able to stop that. Good job there by the Hawks players trying to stay in front of them. Here's Kalim, quick shot. Blocker saved by McLaughlin, making it look easy. And the puck all the way down the other way, and we get a call here by the linesman's calling something. Nobody knows what's going on.
Too many? Too many. No.
So too many men call by the linesman against the Rivermen on an icing call. Or I should say a dump in. The puck was dumped down the ice and he called a too many men call. I'm not sure. We'll have to watch back on that one. But
yeah, nobody from the Hawk side screamed. Usually if there's any chance of it, too many men.
oh, just a weird call. Like I said, the Hawks were dumping it down the ice because they were on the penalty kill. And the ref at center ice just decided to call too many men. But so we got some.
Anywho.
Hawks are now on the power play here. As they are able to keep that one in. When they hold it in, they get some support. 3 on it. That gets knocked down deep. And now the centering pass right up front. Quick shot. Holy moly. Missed the net again. That seems to be happening way too often for our Hawks. Cormier, Arsenault, and Boudreau on the ice. D pass to Gaudette. He's got some firing power, and the goalie takes a sweet mini look again under that elbow. As we had bodies in front of the net that time, but to the side of the net, not in front. Face-off draw won by the Hawks, but Rivermen go right through on the draw. Pick up the puck and are able to clear it. Millier behind as he moves it up to Gaudette. Gaudette joins in on the rush to set up this power play. He's in deep. Arsenault sneaking down low. Millier up high now. Down to Cormier, back to Millier. Millier, quick shot. And now it's who's going to get to it first, and it's the Rivermen. As they knock it the length of the way. Here's Cormier now. See, looks to find Boudreau coming in the middle. Arsenault now, lots of room, walks right in. Again, the goalie looks behind him. Early whistle.
Puck was loose behind him.
The puck is loose there, held between the stick and the post. And blown down quickly. "12 seconds to go here on the power play." Refuse is going to be kicked out. Casey in on the draw. Refuse tries to go right through, pick up that puck on the other side. And that one's knocked out by the Rivermen. That'll pretty much do it here now. We're back to 5-on-5 as Casey loses an edge backwards. Now Casey in there trying to bump his man. St. Clair thinks about going, but the puck gets brought back the other way. Miramichi trying to hit Caleb as he was flying by. Now Refuse behind the net. Here's Caleb. We got a guy out in front, but Dexter does another good job. He's been active with that stick behind the net. He's blocked 2 or 3 now. Now McPherson able to chip that out. That's moved up. Not in deep, however, as the Hawks able to chip and go. McPherson one-on-one as he tries to get around, but he's stick-checked, and here's a chance for the Rivermen, but they can't make it. And Millier right in deep. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the third. Game still in grasp for anybody as Caleb gets hammered at the line. And it's Millier this time bringing the boom.
Yeah, knocker play there, trying to stay on side.
Knocked in. So Richard has to play it off the net. And that's picked up by Esterbrook's. Little chip in right on net. That's going to force the goalie to cover it. Great job by Esterbrook's to get it in on the goalie and force a face-off in the zone. This analysis brought to you by Cedric Fournette. Keep going.
No, I'm good.
What kind of bad play are we looking at here, City boy?
Said it was a good play.
Cedric liked that play by Esterbrook as he chipped it in, forced the goalie to cover it Unfortunately, the Hawks unable to take advantage in the zone by winning the draw. Cadet behind the net, moves it up. And here comes Cormier. Cormier over to Arsenault, but it's just off the mark. They maintain control, throw the puck on net. It's loose in front, but everybody did a flyby like Top Gun Maverick. Gotta stop at the top of the crease if you want to put the scraps to the back of the net. Battle along the boards. Miramichi comes out with it. Again, a pass just off the mark. Good job there by Arsenault to stick check. Force that puck out of the zone. Cormier chips it in. Miramichi's on it. Little bump there this time by Cormier. And he's able to get it on the other side. Another little turnover there, but Miramichi finally comes back up with it. Good job by Cadet to stay high there. Doesn't allow for Miramichi to move into the zone at all. On the other side, though, not the same thing here as Rivermen able to move it in here. And now, backhand up and over. High stick. And it's called off immediately as that was way up and over.
Bâton élevé, Jamie. Bâton élevé.
Miramichi going to try to throw everything they can at the boys here in the last little bit, but refuse to Casey. Casey flicks it in. Just under 2 to go here as Casey is driven into the boards. They were tied up and that puck squirts out of play. And now a cross check to Casey as they go back and forth after that little collision in the corner. Miramichi again getting possession. They trip it down the ice, and that's icing. .130 to go. Look for the Rivermen's goalie to come flying out of the net, get that extra attacker on. LeBlanc tries to jump the line and get the puck on the other side, but there's a big battle right on the dot. He has it now, and he's going to skate as he enters the zone, and he's attacked immediately by 2 of the Hawks players. St. Clair getting the best of them. As 3 Rivermen are down there, the puck squirts out, lots of traffic in front. Dexter able to fight through it all and get a pad on that one. Empty netter, but that's a nice thing. 57 minutes to go here on the clock.
And there's a timeout called by Miramichi.
Miramichi's banging away. Big draw. Won by the Hawks. Can they control it in the corner here? Just enough as they have 2-on-3 as they're protecting the net as much as they can. They're digging and prowling. Here comes Miramichi trying to get a shot. And that's knocked down the ice. And bingo! Stay tuned after the game for the Hawks turning point of the game as we'll be chatting with Teddy Burnett and Jay Cornett-Patterson.
Well, it took a while to get going, Jamie, but looks like the Hawk will be coming away with the victory here.
Stranger things have happened, but this one took a little bit more chances. Cormier rebound. Marcelo almost buried another one. They're still not done yet. One more turn off the skate and into the corner with 4 to go. That should do it here. As they fire it the length of the way. And it is a 4-2 victory for your Hawks. We're here with Jay Cornett-Patterson. What do you think the turning point of the game was?
I got the answer. I'm going to say Hayden's big hit. That set a tone for the boys.
Said he's got a big hit. And besides the fact that there was no stupid penalties taken in the last 5 minutes of the game for the Hawks to blow a game, what do you think, Jay Cornett?
I agree with Seti.
And that'll have it. 4-2 win. The Hawks chime in on their turning point. And the Hawks finally seek a little redemption from last night's loss and able to defeat the Rivermen in their home barn 4-2. Next game coming to you Friday night, but a home game for the Dieppe Flyers. So the Hawks will be in to the hangar to take on the arch rival Flyers. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.